So we got some great Javier Milei news for this week. As is the custom now on this channel, we got to keep everyone updated on the latest Argentina stuff, because obviously this doesn't really get reported in English most of the time. So you might know that Javier Milei is a libertarian, and he claims to hate the state and hate state spending, and he constantly rallies against people who, according to him, steal from the state by like receiving subsidies from it, or like welfare, or like basically anything from it. And as I went over last week, he constantly takes these trips to other countries on state money. Like the second he became president, he realized, hey, I have a blank check to travel wherever I want at the cost of the taxpayers. So I'm going to do that. And he spent millions of dollars doing that. And it was revealed just today, actually, that Milei spent $200,000 to charter a private jet while he was already in the US to meet with Elon Musk and take a couple of selfies with him. He spent $200,000. Don't be fooled by the 200 million. That's in pesos. It's about 200K in USD to travel to the Tesla plant and take a couple of selfies with Elon Musk. And every single one of his pictures is like this, by the way. Like every Milei picture is him desperately trying to hide his chin. They are all the fucking same. Let me show you. It's seriously just like his thing. He cannot take a normal picture. They used to call this back in the day the MySpace angle. Now it's the Milei angle. Just showing you some examples, bringing them up real quick. I gotta hide my chin. Can't let him see my chin. Like, you're not gonna believe the pure quantity of examples that I'm currently bringing up. I think this is enough. Okay. Here are the examples of the Milei selfie pose. Can't let him see my chin. This is like from the third person perspective. Look at him. He's like a British woman who's already had way too much plastic surgery at age 20 doing duck face in her selfies. But he's like a 55-year-old man. It's unreal. Everyone is the same. Even when he's like with fucking Mark Zuckerberg, he does the same fucking pose. Look at Mark. Mark Zuckerberg is more normal than you. He looks normal compared to this fucking guy. Every picture is the same. I'm not fucking kidding. You could just cut and paste them. Anyway, so Milei is spending copious amounts of state money while simultaneously rallying against people who supposedly waste state money, like retirees who he's cut pensions of, welfare recipients, like 1 billion different government agencies. Like he's defunded like the state news service, he's defunded like the state, like every single state-led cultural institution. He's defunding universities, everything, while spending money on like his own little worthless trips to take selfies with his idol. And you already have to be really dumb to have Elon Musk as your idol. So aside from that, there's more. There's way more. So another thing that you might know about the libertarians is that they are big fans of talking about how much they hate like the state issuing money. They're like, oh, it's so bad that the state issues money. They call it like fiat currency, which implies that it's fake. And Milei does that too. He's like, oh, it's a crime. Oh, Milei said that he wanted to make it a crime against humanity for the state to emit money. Like, basically, he wanted to make printing money a crime against humanity. It sounds like a joke because, you can't just unilaterally declare that something is a crime against humanity as one guy. That's not how this works. But as I said, here it is. Javier Milei proposed that the issuance of money should be considered a crime against humanity. Well, guess what? A couple days ago, it was reported, well, this is just a complete mistranslation, more weights, but more money was issued during Javier Milei's administration than in the first half of 2023 by comparison. So that means in the first half of 2024, something like 7 times more money has been emitted by Milei's government than was done by the previous government in the same period. So he's against monetary emission, right? And then he goes and emits a ton of money while also cutting like things like retiree payments, like the retirement pension and stuff like that. So according to Milei's own new law, he would be a criminal against humanity, which is very interesting. Now, the thing with libertarians like this is that libertarianism is just like a synonym for fascist, basically. Far-right, generic fascist. So it's not that he's actually against the emission of money. It's that he's against the emission of money for anything aside from something that benefits like multi-million-dollar corporations, multi-billion-dollar corporations, multi-trillion-dollar corporations, especially foreign ones. So he's all for emitting money, provided that, you know, it's not for the funding of like pensions or welfare or doing something useful for human beings like building houses. He's only against it in those cases. That's why he emitted 7 times more fucking money than the previous government did in the same period of time. Now, I've saved the best for last, because the best part about this week's now traditional Javier Milei update, because there's so much fucking news about this idiot every week that I have enough to just make a clip out of it every single week. A libertarian senator from Javier Milei's political party, which is called Liberty Advances, tried to include in an anti-human trafficking bill the legalization of the sale of children. What is there to say about that? Now, some context for this is that Javier Milei has previously said that he himself is for the sale of children, because he's a fan of Murray Rothbard, who was very much into advocating for selling children. There's a clip of him, let's see if I can find it in a moment right now, of Milei outright saying that. And he's also very much for the selling of organs.
Communism
like a free
is
market
based
in organs. This is a deep law clip of Milei a couple of years ago, where he advocates for the free sale of children.
Como entra en conflicto los dos derechos, entonces vale el de la madre. O sea, con lo cual, nada, bueno, esas son la...
Igual, quizás...
I'll translate for you, don't worry.
Y riesgo de vida presta para otro debate que hoy no podemos hacer.
Es un debate largo.
Tenemos que ir dejando el...
Every single person in this room is like one of the biggest fucking idiots in the world, by the way. Like, actual people born with 50 IQ.
Pero bueno,
algo que aportaría mucho a ese debate es que se permitiera que las adopciones fuera un mercado libre.
He said that it would be good if adoptions were on the free market. That is to say that any parents would be able to sell their children to whoever they want for whatever they want without any interference or regulation from the state. That's what he just said.
Y no un mercado regulado por el Estado. Vas a ver.
Exactly. He continues by saying, and like he wants it to be a free market rather than something that's regulated by the state. He wants a free market in children. He just straight up said it.
Como aquellas que
This is the president of Argentina.
Quedan embarazadas aun cuando no quieren, van a encontrarle una salida, digamos, a la situación.
So he said, if a woman, this is him arguing against abortion, by the way. His solution to abortion was not to legalize abortion, it was to encourage mothers to have unwanted children and then just sell them. And now a senator from his party has officially proposed in the Senate the legalization of the sale of children, just as Milei himself has previously advocated for. And the reason why Milei does this through his own, like, you know, guys in his party propose this rather than himself is that he has plausible deniability later. He can be like, I never said that. I never said that. You know, I never supported this. He like gets someone in his party to propose the law to see the reaction, and then when it's bad, he tries to distance himself from it. There's like this really funny still of like pre-election where Milei went on TV to contradict himself. Look at this fucking like this goddamn title here. This quote: "I'm not going to sell organs or children." He had to come out and clarify that because there was 20 different clips of him where he said outright he wanted to sell organs and children. Absolutely amazing. If you have to come out and say this, something has gone wrong with your campaign. Something is wrong with you. And there's something wrong with the people who still voted for you. Now you might want to ask, why is Javier Milei in favor of the free sale of children? And well, as I went over in my previous video, he has said some very questionable things about children in the past. Javier Milei last year said that the state is a, can I say that word without getting demonetized? A PDF file, I'll say that, in a kindergarten with the children chained up and bathed in Vaseline. This is what he said. So that could explain he and his party's constant references to the free sale of children. That could explain it. But yeah, that is this week's Javier Milei update. Very interesting developments with him constantly spending state money and emitting money while also rallying against the spending of state money and rallying against the emission of money to the point that he thinks that it should be a crime against humanity. And very interesting developments in his party's like testing of the grounds to see whether the terrain is ripe for the free sale of children, which is one of their ideological standpoints, something that they are all very much for. They're testing the grounds to see if they can get away with literally implementing a free market in kids. What else is there to say about that? Libertarian moment, Javier Milei moment. Everyone who supports this guy honestly needs like an Interpol raid of their house immediately to check those hard drives. Oh, you know what else I forgot to talk about? This week, to add on to that, a libertarian, a member of Milei's party, a libertarian activist, who posted on Twitter and was a member of pro-Milei circles on social networks such as Twitter, was detained by federal police for possession and distribution of child pornography. And here's the article about that, which I will translate with Google. Tweets in favor of Milei, video games and anime dolls. How the young man arrested for possession of cheese pizza in Obrera was shown on networks. Networks being social networks, social media. Fits the fucking profile, doesn't he? Absolutely just fits the profile. The anime obsession, they're always like this. Average Milei fan. And of course, this guy had posts on Twitter where he accused Milei's opponents of being PDF files as well. I honestly, he was arrested 2 days ago, right? 2 fucking days after this, Milei's party proposes the legalization of the sale of children in the Senate. How is it possible that this is a coincidence? This guy had and distributed more than 4,000 fucking cheese pizza files between Milei fans, in groups of Milei fans on Twitter. If you run into any Milei fan on Twitter, they are someone who potentially bought this from this guy. Holy shit, it's disgusting. Every single one of them needs to be investigated immediately. Oh my god, he's like look at this picture. Is like a picture of him being detained in his room, and the computer has an anime video game in the background. Exactly what you'd fucking expect. The dolls, oh man. Oh god. Average week in the Milei sphere. Pretty much exactly what you would expect from libertarians, isn't it? You want to know why they talk constantly about the sale of children? Because this is their base. Their base are people who would buy children. That's all there is to it. They're just appealing to their voters.